Hi, my name is Dana Morris, and I'm the owner and program director of I Am Kids Tulsa. My team and I go into over 20 schools around the Tulsa area, and we are also teaching in psychiatric hospitals around town. I absolutely love what I do. I've been teaching children's yoga, mindfulness, and meditation since 2011, and I am so honored to be sharing with you some trauma-sensitive yoga today. So, what makes this yoga video different from other kids' yoga videos? For one, this is a trauma-sensitive yoga video, like I said. We use different language in here. There's always a choice. So if you are watching this with your child or your classroom, remember that the kids don't have to participate. If they want to sit back and watch and just absorb it, they can. If they want to take a break, they can. And it's normal for kids to be wiggly and have lots of energy. Just set clear boundaries and expectations for the video. Maybe have a mat, an area, and as long as they're being respectful to the people around them, they can really do what they want. They can have choice in this video. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so what is yoga? Yoga was invented about 5,000 years ago in India, and they're still doing it today. So there must be a reason that people are still doing it. What are some of those reasons, do you think? Maybe to stretch, right? To exercise. Raise your hand really high in the air if you like to do some sports, right? Yeah? Do we have any basketball players or soccer players or anything like that? Did you know that coaches make their players do yoga? Like professional athletes do yoga? Yeah, it helps them stretch out their muscles, and stretched out muscles prevents injury. So that's one reason. What else do you think? Why do you think people do yoga? Maybe to relax, to calm down, to de-stress. Lots of reasons, right? So for today's activity, I have a paper plate. So if you have a paper plate, go ahead and get it. I also have some markers. You can use crayons, pens, pencils, whatever you want. And what we're gonna do is we are gonna take this plate, take our hand, and just trace our hand with this paper plate, okay? All right, so put it flat, spread those fingers out. Go ahead and trace that hand. Don't worry, we're not gonna do a turkey. All right. If you're younger, you might need help, and that's okay. Maybe ask someone to help you. And don't worry if you mess up. You can flip it over. It doesn't matter, right? If you want to even take some time and pause the video and draw fingernails on it, you can. Decorate it however you want. Maybe draw some jewelry on it. Whatever you want. All right. And then what we're gonna do is down here at the base of your thumb, right here, we're gonna take a marker or a pen, and we're gonna do these little dashes. Do you see how I'm doing that? Dashes. So we're gonna go up and down every finger with the dashes. And remember, in art, there's no such thing as messing up. Good job. Doesn't have to be perfect. What happens when we draw, it kind of helps us remember things, and that's why we do this in kids yoga a lot. We do like some art or crafts with our yoga practice because that helps our brain remember the things that we're learning. Okay, so once you've finished, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start here down at the base of the thumb. You can even take your own pointer finger and start down here. But we're going to trace up that thumb, and when you trace up, we're gonna breathe in through our nose like we're smelling a flower, okay? So here we go. Big breath in, breathe out. Big breath in, go up. Breathe out as you go down. Breathe in as you go up. Breathe out as you go down. Breathe in as you go up. Breathe out as you go down. Breathe in as you go up. Breathe out as you go down. Good job. So, we've done that with the plate. Let's go ahead and put our plate to the side and use our own hand, okay? Because we're not always gonna have that plate, right? So take your hand, spread out your fingers. Take your finger to the base of your thumb. We're gonna breathe in and go up. Breathe out and go down. Breathe in and go up. Breathe out and go down. Breathe in and go up. Breathe out and go down. Breathe in and go up. Breathe out and go down. One more. Big breath in and breathe out. How do you feel after you take 5 big breaths? We call that the Take 5 breath. Your breath is like a superpower. You can use it to help calm yourself down. You can use it to build up energy when things are hard, like yoga. Sometimes it's hard. We'll use our breath to help us get through some hard stuff. But we can also use our breath to calm ourselves down. All right, you guys ready to move? Okay, let's go ahead and sit crisscross yoga sauce if you can, if that's comfortable for you. Now remember, anything that I ask you to do in this class, listen to your body. What do I mean when I say listen to your body? Well, for one, if you have your legs out straight and I'm like, bend down and reach your toes, and that hurts, it's okay to bend your knees a little bit and do what feels good to your body. Even though I'm the yoga teacher, you're in charge of your own self, okay? All right, so I invite you to sit crisscross if that feels good to your body, or sit however you want. So in yoga, we call sitting up really tall our mindful body. So imagine that there's this string coming out through the crown of your head, lifting you a little taller, okay? Relax those shoulders, maybe give them a shake and a wiggle. Maybe put your hands on your knees. And if you want, if you feel safe, maybe you want to close your eyes. If you don't want to, maybe just stare down at the floor in front of you. Just take a moment and feel your breath. Watch your breath. We're not trying to control it in any way, just feel it. Are you breathing fast? Are you breathing slow? Are you breathing shallow? Are you breathing deep? Good. So all yoga is moving and breathing on purpose. So let's try it. Maybe bring your hands over your head, touching your fingertips. You can look up if you want to. See if you can touch those fingertips together. Good. Shoulders away from your ears. Take a big breath in here. Good. And when you breathe out, let's make our arms go down. Big breath in, rise up. Fingertips together. Breathing out, come down. Kind of like a rainfall, right? Or a waterfall. Big breath in, rise up. Breathe out, go down. Good. Let's add a little more movement. This time when we rise up, we're going to pause here for a second. We're going to bring one hand down to the floor, and we're going to gently fold over to the side. Where do you feel that stretch? Good. Big breath in, come back up. And now let's do the other side. Placing your hand here, gently fold over. Where do you feel that? Good. Big breath in all the way up. Let's see if we can do 2 on each side. Here we go. Big breath in. And breathe out. Fold over. Kind of looks like a rainbow. Big breath in, come up. Now the other side. Big breath in, come up. One more time this way. Big breath in, come up. And one more time this way. Good, back it to the top. This time we're gonna twist. So we're gonna take one hand to our opposite knee, reach the other hand behind you, and just gently look over our shoulder. It's kind of like popping your back. Good. Now let's come back up, big breath in. And now the other way, twist like you're wringing a washcloth out. Good. Big breath in, come back up. Let's do it 2 more times in that twist. Twisting one way. Big breath in, come up. When you breathe out, twist the other way. You can go as deep or as gentle as you want. Here we go. Twist that way one more time. Big breath in. And twist. Big breath in. Good. Now let's move our spine the other way. You know where your spine is, right? That backbone going all the way to your tailbone, all the way up to the back of your neck. All right, let's twist it the other way. We're gonna take our hands, bring it behind us, and just gently shine your heart up towards the ceiling. Some of you might want a bigger back bend, and if you do, you maybe can come up to your knees and stretch if that feels good to you, but you don't have to. Here we go, we're gonna stretch this way. Big breath in, bring your arms up to the sky. And when you breathe out, we're gonna fold over. Good, where do you feel that stretch? Big breath in all the way up. Let's go back one more time. Stretch, shine that heart. Big breath in, come up. And as we breathe out, we're gonna come all the way down. Well done. All right, so now we're gonna cross our legs the other way. So look down at your legs if you're crisscross. So you have one leg on top. Let's go ahead and switch it and put the other leg on top. It might feel funky at first, yeah? It does to me too. All right, so we're gonna sit up nice and tall. We're gonna do those same breathing and movements that we did a while ago, but we're gonna put them all together, all right? Here we go. Big breath in. As you breathe out, let's go to this one side. Big breath in all the way up. Now the other side. Big breath in all the way up. Twist. Big breath in up. Twist the other way. Big breath in up. Back now. Big breath in up. And now we fold over. Good job, you did it. Let's practice that one more time. You ready? Here we go. Big breath in up. Fold over one way. Big breath in up. Breathe out the other way. Big breath in up. Twist around. Breathe in up. Twist the other way. Bring it back up. Now we go back. Big breath in up. Forward fold. Walk it back up. Good job. How do you feel after that? I feel a little more calm than I did when I first started the video. Let's go ahead and move on to our knees. All right, so if this feels good to your body, I'm on my knees here. If that doesn't feel good, you can do a different way, that's okay. But this is called child's pose. Child's pose is one of my favorites. You can have your knees together or you can have it apart, whatever feels good for you. And then we're just reaching forward And maybe your head can go to the mat. It kind of looks like you're bowing. You can go ahead and stay here for a while. This is a grounding pose. It's supposed to help you feel more centered and stable, like to the ground. You can take this pose anytime during this video that you need a break. This pose is good for cramps, for tummy aches, and you can do it anytime. So let's just take a moment here and feel our breath and get centered before we start doing some more yoga. If your head doesn't go all the way down to the mat, you can even take your fist and kind of stack them on top of each other and try that. Feel your breath. Do you feel how warm it is while your head is down? Good. All right. Let's go ahead and come up to our hands and our knees. So if you'll notice, my hands are right underneath my shoulders and my knees are right underneath my hips. This is called tabletop. All right. So we're going to take one foot in our tabletop and we're going to press our toes. Can you see my toes there? We're going to press our toes back into the mat. Let me scoot up a little bit. All right. Now I'm going to use my arms and push myself back. This feels really good on the back of my leg. If your wrists are starting to hurt, feel free to come down to your elbows if you want. Yoga shouldn't hurt, it should feel good. There's a difference between stretching and pain, right? All right, we're gonna take that leg. See if you can reach it up about as high as your back. Good. Now we're gonna take our opposite hand. So if I have this leg up, I'm taking my opposite hand and I'm coming out to my fingertips. Now maybe, just maybe, I can take my hand and reach it forward. Wiggle those fingers, wiggle those toes, stretch. Good. Let's try the other side. Here we go. Press your toes back into the mat and push back gently. If we have any runners out there, this is a really good stretch for you. All right, here we go. We're gonna lift that leg up about as high as our back. We're gonna take our opposite fingertips and crawl them out in front of us. This is a good place to be. If you want to try to balance on this side, here you go, give it a try. Wiggle those fingers, wiggle those toes. Good job, you guys. And rest in your child's pose. All right. Let's go ahead and grab our plates. Plates that you made. We're gonna stand up. All right. We're gonna stretch and move and do some yoga with our plate. All right, so we're gonna take our plate above our head. Our feet are together. You see that? My feet are together. My hands are on each side of the plate. And I'm gonna reach it up above my head and just stretch. Good. Now let's make our body the shape of the crescent moon or a banana. Which one inspires you more? A banana? Crescent moon? All right, let's go back the other way. Stretch the other way. Good. Back the other way. One more time this way. Good. All right. So I'm going to go over to the front of our mat. We're going to stand there in mountain pose. Mountain pose, let me show you what mountain pose is real quick. Mountain pose is standing with your feet right underneath your hips. Okay? Your feet are underneath your hips, your toes are facing forward, and you have equal weight on your right and your left side. I don't know about you, but I stand like this a lot. I'm just, like this. So in mountain pose, in yoga, we stand with equal weight on the right and left side. See if you can do that. Standing tall, standing proud. Good. All right, so we're gonna do that mountain pose that we just learned at the top of your mat, plate in your hand. We're gonna raise it up above our head, and then just imagine, if it's flat, that you're gonna just gently spill something off the top of your plate. Good, gentle back bend. And now we're gonna take the plate down by our feet. It's okay to bend your knees. Look at that belly button. Now we're gonna take the plate and put it right in front of us, making your body the shape of a 7. And then bring the plate back down on the floor. All right, we're gonna bend our knees and put our hands on both sides of the plate. We're gonna step back to a plank, kind of like a push-up, right? And then we're gonna gently lower our bellies on the floor. I'm gonna put my knees down. You can too if you want. Gently coming down to the floor. Good. So now we're laying on that plate. See how my feet are like this? You could put your feet out straight. Our hands are by the plate still. Elbows are hugging our body. And we're gonna gently come up like a cobra. Good. Just shine that heart forward. All right, we're gonna tuck those toes, push ourselves up to that tabletop. Good. Now, downward facing dog. Your hands are flat, fingers are wide. We're tucking those toes, and we're gonna lift upside down. Good. How many of you guys like hanging upside down on the monkey bars? I do. This is a way for us to get upside down. Maybe it feels good to march out those heels or shake your head yes or no. And remember, you can come down to your knees or rest in your child's pose whenever you need a break. All right, we're gonna take one of our feet. Let's take our right foot and take our right foot and see if you can put it on top of your plate. Can you get it up there? It's like we're about to run a race. Yeah. All right. You can put your knee down in the back or have it straight. It's your choice. All right, here we go. We're going to see if we can bring those hands up to the sky. Good. Take a big breath in here. Bringing your hands back down, both sides of the plate. We're gonna bring our other foot up onto the plate. Good. Let's go ahead and raise up all the way and bring your hands to your heart. Let's try it again. Big breath in, rise up. Big breath out all the way down. Big breath in, make your body the shape of a 7, long back. Breathe out all the way down. Bring your hands down to the mat on both sides of your plate. Step back. Here we go. You ready for our yoga push-up? We call it chaturanga. It's okay to drop down to your knees. Here we go. Belly to the floor. Gentle cobra. Breathing in. Coming up to your knees. Downward facing dog. Breathing out. Rest here for a moment. Good. Keep breathing. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. All right, everything we do to one side of our body in yoga, we always do to the other. So let's take our left foot, raise it up in the air maybe. Look towards that plate and see if you can get that foot all the way up there. Here we go. So it's like we're in a race. Ready to start a race. It's okay to come down to your knee. And then we're going to come up like this. Or you may be like this. Neither one of those poses are better than the other. Let's go ahead and frame that foot. Stepping up. Big breath in all the way up. Hands to your heart, breathe out. Well done. Let's try it one more time. Big breath in, rise up. Breathe out, forward fold. Breathe in, flat back. Breathe out, forward fold. Hands on both sides of that plate. Let's step back to our plank. Here we go. Bellies to the floor. Gentle cobra, big breath in. Up to your knees, breathe out. Downward facing dog. And just breathe here for a moment. If you need or you want to come down to your knees in child's pose, feel free to do that. Good. Look up at that plate. Maybe bend your knees. If you want to jump up to your plate, you can. Or maybe step up to your plate. Good job. Go ahead and grab that plate. Big breath in all the way up. And bring the plate down to your heart. Good job, you guys. How do you feel after doing all that? Maybe take a moment. We're going to do a little check-in with our body. Maybe take your hands to your heart. If you want to close your eyes and just check in with your breath, how are you breathing? Is your heart a little faster after all that? Is it good for your heart to beat faster and to exercise? Good. All right. So let's go ahead and sit back down for a moment. We're going to stand up in just a second, but we're going to try something. I've got a challenge for you. Let's see if you can take this plate and place it on top of your head and balance. Now, I wear a bun a lot on top of my head. It would be kind of tricky if I had a bun in today instead of these braids, right? So if you have a hairstyle today that's kind of tricky, you might have to do something else. One time I had to do it like this because I just could not do it. I had to lean back. And you don't even have to have a plate. Just imagine that you have a plate. Sitting up nice and tall. I have a question for you. What if my plate keeps falling? And I'm getting frustrated because I just can't do it good enough. I'm like getting frustrated because everyone else around me can do it and I can't do something at all. What kind of advice would you give me? Maybe to calm down. Take a big deep breath. Maybe try this, take 5 breaths, right? Maybe stare at something that's not moving. Pick something on the wall maybe and just stare at it. Focus, concentrate, slow down that breath. And when you do mess up, remember, it's just yoga. It's okay to mess up in yoga. It's okay to mess up in real life. Forgive yourself. Try again. That's all we can do. Some things like this take practice. All right, next challenge. You ready? We're gonna see if we can keep this balanced on our head and stand up. Maybe you can do it with no hands. If you need to use a hand at first, that's okay too. Here we go, no hands. Very good. All right. Maybe you can even walk around the room for a little bit. What happens if you go too fast? Probably fall off, right? Very good. All right, let's go ahead and take our paper plate and put it in one hand, kind of like you're a server at a restaurant. We're gonna raise it up into the air like this. We're gonna come into tree pose. So tree pose, before we raise our arms up, let's go ahead and let me show you on our feet. Tree pose is balancing on one foot. You can either have your foot on your other foot, like this. You can have your foot, just your toes, like a kickstand on a bicycle. You can put your foot below your knee, or you can put your foot above your knee. But let's not put it on our knee because our knee doesn't bend sideways and we don't want that extra pressure on it. So choose where you want to put your foot, maybe on top, like a kickstand on a bicycle, below your knee, or above your knee. All right, you can bring your hands here at your heart, above your head, or even balance your plate on your hand like this. It can be your branches. Maybe this is your leaf. All right, now we're gonna pretend it's fall. We're gonna drop our leaves in 5, 4, hold it, 3, keep breathing, 2, 1. Whoosh. Good job. Let's try the other side. So get your plate, maybe switch hands. Do you remember which foot you were standing on? Let's try the other one, okay? So, ooh, this side is trickier for me. Do you have one side that's trickier for you? All right, so remember, your standing foot, that's the root of the tree. So go ahead and lift up those toes and press them down into the mat. We're gonna stand up nice and tall. Decide where your foot goes on this side. Remember, you can choose where you want your hands to be. All right, here we go. Let's hold that tree. We're gonna pretend it's fall in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo! Good job, you guys. All right. We're gonna use this plate again for some more yoga poses. So let's go back up to the front of your mat. Do you remember that mountain pose? All right. Actually, we're gonna put this plate right beside us. We'll use it in just a second. We're gonna teach you a moving meditation first, all right? So the moving meditation, if you're at the front of your mat, you're gonna bring your hands to your heart like this. We're gonna breathe in through our nose like we're smelling a flower. And when we breathe in, we're gonna rise up, just like we did when we were sitting down. And when we breathe out, we're gonna waterfall it down. We're gonna breathe in and come all the way back up to the top. And breathe out, our hands to our hearts. Let's try that together 3 times. Here we go. Big breath in, rise up. Breathe out, forward fold. Breathe in, rise up. Breathe out, hands to heart. 2 more times. Big breath in, rise up. Breathe out, forward fold. Breathe in, rise up. Breathe out, hands to heart. Breathe in, rise up, last time. Breathe out, forward fold. Breathe in, rise up. Breathe out, hands to heart. Good job. All right, let's go ahead and move to the front of your mat if you're not there yet. Standing in mountain pose. Remember what mountain pose? Your feet are underneath your hips. You're standing up nice and tall, hands to your heart. Let's do 1 round of that moving meditation. Here we go. Big breath in, rise up. Breathe out, forward fold. Breathe in, rise up. Breathe out, hands to heart. Good. We're going to take one foot, doesn't matter which one, because we're going to do both sides, and we're going to step back. Kind of looks like we're surfing. So your front toe is facing the front of the mat. Your back foot is sideways, and that front knee is going to bend right over that ankle. Not too far. We want to make sure you can see those toes, okay? Your arms are out. This is called Warrior Two. Go ahead and check that back arm. See, it's as high as the front arm. Good. Maybe you can even take your plate and balance it on your hand. Good. Now what we're going to do is take our back arm, bring it behind your back, and take your front hand, the one with the plate, and raise it up to the sky. Can you keep your knee a little bent? Taking a big breath in. Coming back into that Warrior Two. Good. Now let's take that plate, bring it down by your foot. You can drop it. Bend that front arm like it's a shield, okay? We're gonna take that arm and bring it down to your knee. And this back arm, it's your imaginary sword, and raise it up to the sky. Maybe you can even look up at your hand in the sky. If you're feeling wobbly, look down at the ground. That's gonna help you balance. Good. Let's go ahead and come back up into that Warrior Two. Stepping to the front of your mat. Big breath in all the way up. Breathe out, forward fold. Breathe in, rise up. Breathe out, hands to heart. One more time. Big breath in all the way up. Breathe out, forward fold. Breathe in all the way up. Breathe out, hands to heart. All right, now we're gonna do the other side. Do you remember which side you did before? I'm gonna come this way. You can stay at whichever side. Okay, so we're gonna step our other leg back. So your front toe is pointed forward, your back foot is sideways. That front knee is bent right over that knee. Arms are extended, Warrior Two. This is a power pose. Do you feel powerful here? Good. So back there, behind you, that represents your past. It's back there. We're looking towards the future. We're like, I'm ready. Come at me, bro. Ready. But you're strong right here in the present. We're going to take that back arm, bring it behind your back, keeping that front knee bent. Raise that front arm up to the sky. Big breath in. Another breath. Coming back into that Warrior Two. Front arm, let's go ahead and bend that elbow, bringing it down to your knee, and maybe you can look up at your hand in the sky. If you're feeling a little wobbly though, look down at the mat. It's going to help you balance. Are you still breathing, or are you holding your breath? Warrior Two, come back up. Good. Stepping your feet together. Big breath in all the way up. Breathe out, forward fold. Breathe in all the way up. Breathe out, hands to heart. Breathe in all the way up. Breathe out, forward fold. Breathe in all the way up. Breathe out, hands to heart. Well done. All right, let's go ahead and grab this plate. We're gonna do some more fun stuff with it. Let's go ahead and sprinkle a little magic pixie dust on here, set it down, and pretend it's a boat. So we gotta get on our boat here. So we're gonna sit on our boat, right? Okay, All right, this is a tiny boat, right? All right, this is all the water around us. Maybe there's some fish in it. So let's point our toes. Lean back on your elbows and pretend to be a fish. Now here's your elbows, right? We're gonna lean back on our elbows. Point your toes. Maybe you can even make a fishy face. And we're gonna puff out our chest. Pop, 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 pop. And just gently look up. Where do you feel a stretch here? If that hurts your neck, just look forward. Listen to your body. Do what feels good to your body. All right. Imagine one of those little fishies coming around and nibbling your little toes because you're in the water. You're in our tiny boat here. So we're gonna have to lift up. You ready? So we're gonna shine our heart forward. I'm gonna show you 3 different ways to do this boat. One way is you can grab a hold of your knees and just gently lift up your toes. Try and keep your back straight. This is a great place to be. Another way you can do this pose is taking your hands underneath your legs here and then lifting up your legs. Maybe you can even be a motorboat. Good. Or you could try the no hands, be a rowboat here. 1 foot up, 2 feet up, 1 hand up, 2 hands up. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Good job, you guys. And relax. Now, what part of your body did you feel that pose? What muscles were you using? Your core, this right here, your belly, your back, maybe your thighs, your glutes. Let's try it again and notice what muscles we're using. So choose a boat that you want. This one, this one, this one. See if you can lift up your heart, whichever one you choose, and see if you can breathe at the same time. Because sometimes when things get tough, we hold our breath and we clench our bodies. Let's see if we can use that breath to get through something a little tricky, a little hard. A breath that I like to use is an Ujjayi breath. It's a fire breath, and it kind of sounds like Darth Vader breathing. So what you do, let's just practice it for a second before we do it. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and open your mouth if you want to try it with me and pretend you're fogging up a window. So you can even put your hand up here. We're going to open our mouth and just say, can you do that? All right, we're going to try the same thing, but this time closing our lips. We're gonna close the back of our throat. So we're gonna make that same sound, but through our nose. So it sounds like this. Can you do that? Can you hear it? All right. When things get really tough in yoga, you can use that breath to help you get through the hard stuff. Let's go ahead and try it. All right, let's choose a boat pose that's hard for you. Maybe this one, maybe this one, maybe this one, or maybe you want your legs all the way up. That's too hard for me. So try one that's hard for you and breathe through it. Here we go. Well done. It was still hard, but it helped give my mind something to focus on to help me through that hard time. Good job. After that, let's do our fish pose again and stretch out our belly muscles. That might feel good. Go ahead and point your toes back on your elbows here and gently lift up and stretch. Good. Whenever you're ready, we'll come back to sitting. Let's do a little check-in with our body. Maybe bring your hands to your heart or your belly or out like this. Maybe close your eyes or look down at the ground and just notice how you're feeling. Maybe you're exhausted. Maybe you feel strong. Good. Let's go ahead and do a little cool down, okay? We're gonna bring our feet together like a butterfly, sitting up as tall as you can. We're gonna bend at our waist and come forward, leading with our heart and with our chin, okay? So it's a long spine, big breath in, and when you breathe out, just come forward, and as soon as you start to feel that discomfort, just pause there. Maybe you can go all the way down, or maybe you're still up here. Just do what feels good to your body. Now let's go ahead and round our spine, come all the way down as far as you can, and see what that feels like. See the difference in your breathing. As we come up again. Good job. Let's go ahead and make our way to our backs. Stretching out your legs, maybe bringing your arms above your head. Just stretch big. As we bring our hands to our hips, where's your hips? Right here on the sides of you, right? In the middle of your body. Keep your hips on the ground. Keep your shoulders on the ground and see if you can bring your hands and your feet to one side, making your body the shape of a banana or a crescent moon. Where do you feel that stretch? Now let's bring our feet to the other side, our hands to the other side. Big side stretch. Back to the middle. Good. Now, see what it feels like to bring both of your knees into your chest and just give yourself a big hug. Maybe even rock back and forth, giving your back a massage. See if we can take your knees, bring your arms out to the side, and then drop your knees to one side, and then look the opposite direction. So your body is in a big twist. Bring your knees back up to center. Now let's do it the other way. Arms out and like a T. Drop your knees to the side and then look the opposite way. Big twist. Bringing your knees back to center, giving yourself a little hug, and then laying down. However's comfortable to you. Traditionally, in yoga, you lay on your back with your palms up, your legs about as wide as your mat, and you relax this way. So if you want to stay like this and you feel comfortable, you can. If you would rather lay on your belly or your side, you can do that too. I always like to dim the lights in the room. I just want you to be comfortable for this part. This is my favorite part of yoga. It's the meditation. It's called Shavasana. It's the end part. So go ahead and get comfortable. I'm going to sit here and talk you through this meditation, okay? I invite you to close your eyes and to get comfortable and relax the best you can. Bringing your attention to your breath and just notice how it feels moving through your body. Noticing the coolness of the breath or the coolness of the air when it enters your nose, and the warmth of your breath when it leaves your body. Maybe bring one hand to your belly and one hand to your heart, if that feels good to you. And just notice the rise and fall of your belly. I invite you to breathe with me as we breathe in for the count of 2. Hold our breath, 1, 2. Breathe out, 1, 2. Breathe in, 1, 2. Hold, 1, 2. Out, 1, 2. Breathe in, 1, 2. Hold, 1, 2. Out, 1, 2. Breathe in, 1, 2. Hold, 1, 2. Out, 1, 2. Bringing your attention down to your feet. Maybe squeeze your toes, squeeze the muscles in your feet tight, and then release. Relax your feet and let them become floppy. Bringing your attention up to your calves and your knees, your thighs and your glutes. And see if you can squeeze the muscles in the lower half of your body only. Tighten those muscles tight. And then release. Relaxing your lower body. Letting it melt down into the floor. And then bringing your attention up to your belly and your chest area and squeezing those abdominals and your core tight, tightening those muscles, maybe even holding your breath for a second, and then release. Letting your belly become soft again. And then bringing your attention to your shoulders, down your arms, past your elbows, to your hands, and squeezing those muscles in your hands and your shoulders, maybe bringing your shoulders up by your ears, tightening your fists, clenching tight, and then release. Relax those shoulders. Relax those hands. And finally, bringing your attention up to your throat, to your face and your head. And tightening the muscles in your face, maybe even clenching the jaw, scrunching your face, making it tight like a raisin. Squeeze. And release. Relax that jaw. Letting your teeth part gently. Relaxing the tongue that's sitting in your mouth. Letting your eyelids become heavier, and if you feel safe, maybe even closing your eyes. Doing a scan of your body from the top of your head down to your feet. See if you are holding any tension anywhere, any discomfort anywhere. And if you are, breathe into that space, allowing yourself permission to relax. When we learn to meditate, it can be hard because our minds are so busy thinking of the past, worrying about the future. So you have to give your mind a job. And its only job is to watch your breath, breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Feeling that breath. And when you find your mind wandering or being distracted by noises around you, come back to that breath. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. For the next minute, you have nowhere else to be, nothing else to do, but lay here or sit here and watch your breath. Bringing your attention back to your body Inviting movement back into our fingertips and our toes. Start wiggling them gently. Maybe it feels good to twist or stretch or bend your knees if you're laying down. There's no rush in getting up. Take your time. If you're on your back, maybe roll over to your side and just lay there for a moment. Sending your body a little love and appreciation for trying something new today, maybe. And when you are ready, you can join me in a sitting position, whatever's comfortable for you. At the end of my yoga classes, I end the same way every time, with a mantra. And a mantra is something that you say over and over and over to yourself that makes you feel good inside. You can make up your own mantra, but I invite you to say this mantra with me. My mantra is peace begins with me. And you take your fingers and your thumb like this, and then you go to the next finger, the next finger, and the next finger, and you match it with the word with every finger. Okay, and we're just going to repeat that, kind of like a chant. Here we go. Peace begins with me. Forgot to tell you, you can say this out loud. You can whisper it. You can say it in your head even, whatever you want, okay? Here we go. Peace begins with me. 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 Big breath in, bringing your hands to your heart. The light inside of me sees the light inside of you, and together we are one. Namaste.